All right, going to continue tearing into this Yamaha Grizzly 350 motor. I've showed you how to pull clutches, replace belts, rebuild the clutch, as well as pulled stator and flywheel. So that part of the video is going to be already done. I'm going to show you how to tear into this top end, and then we're going to get down into our bottom end. I'll show you what that transmission looks like, as well as that crankshaft down in the bottom end there. I'm going to do kind of a quick overview of how to adjust the valves. I've kind of touched on it when we were talking about the flywheel and the charging system over here, because that is how you'll find top dead center. And again, I showed you how to find top dead center in that video. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like up here, how to adjust those valves. And I'm just going to do that as we go because I don't want to spend a lot of time. It's fairly easy. You don't obviously have to pull the motor out to adjust the valves. But you do need to get into your intake cap here, as well as your exhaust side here. So you'll grab an Allen wrench. I've already loosened these up. I want to show you what it looks like underneath of here. So find top dead center. We can pull this cover off if you want. That's not completely necessary. It does kind of show you exactly where you need to be. If I was to pull this cover off right now, it shows you where your top dead center mark would be. You know what? I'm going to pull that cover because I want you to see what that looks like underneath of there. All right, these are a 5mm Allen here. We're gonna go ahead and take that cover off. Now, underneath of this cover here is a dot or a point right here. And I can tip this motor up a little bit so you can see what that looks like maybe. So it looks like that. Now you're gonna have a line on your cam sprocket that's right there. So we're actually gonna need to turn this back a little ways. And that's gonna be on top dead center. Now there's top dead center compression and there's top dead center fire. So you want to make sure you're on the right one, and that's determined by your flywheel. Also, you will be able to determine that if both of your valves are loose, you're going to be on the right stroke. If you've got one tight and one loose, you're going to be on the wrong stroke. So that's typically how it's done anyways, is sometimes you'll feel like you're on top dead center, or your flywheel will indicate that you're on top dead center, and your sprocket will, but you won't have movement here. That means either your valves are extremely tight or you're not on the right stroke. So maybe turn it over one more turn, find the top dead center mark on your flywheel again, and check it. You can tell here, you can probably hear that there is going to be a little bit of play in both of these. And so we're on the right stroke here. The dot is lined up, or the line is lined up with the pin here, and our flywheel, if it was on there, would be in the right position there. We can go and adjust. Now grab a 10mm wrench and a feeler gauge. Stick your feeler gauge in there, and I can get you those specs. Comment below if you need those. Stick the correct measurement underneath of this adjuster screw and the actual valve, and see what your clearance is. If it's between the measurements that I'm going to give you down below here, then you want to tighten up your lock nut. Make sure that when you're tightening up your lock nut here, that your adjuster screw doesn't turn with it. And then you can put this cap back on, exhaust cap, and buckle up your flywheel in that inspection cap there. And that is all you have to do to adjust the valves. Now, I didn't make this video to just show you how to adjust the valves. I wanted to tear into the top end. So I'm going to do that at this time. We obviously have this cover off of here. The next thing that we're going to do is pull our cam chain tensioner off. Two 8mm bolts, we'll go ahead and pull those. And then that'll typically just pop right off. If it doesn't, it is sealed up with a gasket. So if you're rebuilding your top end, you'll get a new gasket here. Make sure you clean that up and get that replaced if your top end gasket kit includes that piece. Sometimes it'll stick down there, so you just take and thump it. A lot of times that'll pop right out there. There is going to be tension here. There should be tension on your cam chain. Now, you're not actually going to be able to move this back and forth unless you take and push this little pin in like that. Then you can push it. But because there is a spring in behind here, it's going to push that out, and that's what gives it, it's called an automatic cam chain tensioner. It pushes on that guide that's down inside here, and I can show you that here in a little bit. And it doesn't allow it to push back out. That's what catches right here. So that's a cam chain tensioner. Now our cam chain is going to have some slack in it, which is what we want. We're going to go ahead and move our cam chain sprocket, or our camshaft sprocket bolt off here. That is the crankcase split on a 2010 Yamaha Grizzly 350. If this video has been helpful, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if that is beneficial to you. Hit that notification bell so that you know when we have more videos posted. We've got lots and lots of videos on this Grizzly 350. We're completely going through that. I've done flywheel and stator, the charging system. I've done overviews and services. I've gone through the rear end, valve adjustments, clutches, like I said, rebuild, front end, and a lot of the electrical components. So make sure you check those videos out. I'll put a couple of those links below. Again, if you guys have questions, I'm here to help you guys, so I appreciate any feedback that I get. Thanks for watching.